રેકોર્ડિંગ ઇન પ્રોગ્રેસ આવે છે પણ કઈ દેખાતું નથી. લેફ્ટમાં જા.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So we are seeing here in the 15th chapter that Bhagavan described the inverted tree and also said how with the axe of detachment one should hit firmly at the base. When he says asanga shastrena dridhena chitva, with the firm axe of detachment hit it with great determination, dridhena chitva. So the idea is that attachment keeps us bound in this samsara, and detachment is very important, and having cultivated detachment then one should seek a teacher. Tata padam tat parimargitavyam. Go to the teacher and gain the knowledge of the truth. Only from the teacher one will be able to gain this knowledge, not from the books. One may think that I can read, I can study, I can understand by myself. Nothing wrong in it if one is putting that effort, but Atmagyan cannot be gained unless there is the teacher and the student. Prepared student goes to an enlightened teacher, then from that person one gets the Upadesha. The ignorance in the heart goes only when one listens to the words of an enlightened being, because those words have a different power. See, we are talking about enlightenment here. We are talking about Brahmagyan. We are not talking even for ordinary things. If somebody is practicing what they are saying and they say it, the impact of that will be very different on the person who is listening. So if, let us say, certain, even in our daily life we can see, suppose sometimes the parents now they themselves are doing puja, they get up early in the morning, they take bath, they do the puja, they sleep early in the night, they are able to let us say do certain exercises. Now when they tell the children, the impact of that will be very different, and children are seeing it also. Okay, this is happening in their daily life, they are also living like that. If the children don't follow it, that's a different point, that is their karma also. But without doing this, the words will be hollow, they won't have power. If one says, live in compassion, kindness, love, peace, equanimity, and one is not living like that, no matter how much one says, it will not impact. That's why Gurudev actually used to say that every day you should do your japa, you should do your sadhana. The day you miss that, your words will not have the power to touch the heart of the listener. So it's very important to anchor in what we are trying to cultivate and even share. Now here we are talking about enlightened being. So that enlightened person who is already living that knowledge, who is operating out of that fact that I am not the body, I am not the jiva, I am consciousness. When we listen to such a person, then the knowledge will arise, and that's why the Gita says, go to such a teacher, listen to that knowledge, and listen about that state. Yasmin gata na nivartanti. Having gone where, having discovered which, one will not return again. Return where? Return to the state of ignorance. So it's not intellectual information. Intellectual information I may get and I will return. Meaning I'll again fall into bondage. That's what happens. When we go, we attend some camps, we go for some retreat, we feel inspired. Even this weekly class, one may feel very inspired. After some time, my mind again back to attachments. Again behaves with delusion. Why? Because intellectual information I got. If my readiness was not there, then I got only intellectual information and then I won't be able to transform. But if I go there with that preparedness, as one listens, immediate is a transformation. So he says, Tata padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyaha tameva chadyam purusham prapadye. Seek the refuge of that alone, who is the Supreme Purusha, who is in one's own heart, and who is the source of the whole creation. Yata pravrittihi prasrita purani. From where the whole Srishti has come, that consciousness, that truth is in our own heart as our own true self. Now when one goes to a teacher, one has prepared, one has gone, so that Asanga Shastrena was already said. Bhagwan now goes on to give in the 5th verse 5 important sadhanas which one can do to experience that state. Suppose somebody says, I went to the teacher, I am listening, like how somebody went to Gurudev and they said that Swamiji, I have been listening to the Gita, I have gone through the whole Gita several times, but I don't feel the transformation. And Gurudev quickly said, that you have gone through the Gita many times, let the Gita go through you once. Meaning, we need to apply whatever we can and start living it. Then it will transform. So, 5 points Bhagwan gives by which one can prepare oneself to experience that supreme state. So this is the beautiful verse, 5th verse of 15th chapter. Whole 15th chapter if you have memorized, wonderful. If you have not memorized whole 15th chapter, then this 5th verse one should memorize. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva, that one should memorize. So what does he say here? Nirmana moha jita sanga doshaha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sanyaihi gacchantya mudha padam avyayam tat. Gacchanti, they go to this state, padam avyayam, indestructible state. Who? Amudhaha, those who have become free from delusion. Who are these people who have become free from delusion? They who have these 5 qualities. So we call this as the 5-star verse of the Gita. What are they? Nirmana moha, one who is free from mana, pride, moha, delusion. Jita sanga dosha, who has conquered the limitations and flaws of company, Jita Sangha Dosha. Adhyatma Nitya, who are steadfast in spiritual sadhana. Vinivritta Kamaha, freed from selfish desires. Dvandvair Vimuktaha Sukha Dukkha Sanyaihi, who are freed from the pairs of opposites, heat, cold, pleasure, pain, success, failure, who are equanimous. So these are 5 qualities. Free from pride and delusion, have conquered the limitation of company, then are steadfast in spiritual practice, then freed from selfish desires, and equanimous. These 5 are the qualities. These qualities can be helpful in the spiritual life, no doubt, and these are meant for that to realize absolute truth. But these can make our life in the world also more happy and harmonious. At least from our side, the mind can become strong, and they will help to be careful in the world, to make right choices in the world, in our daily life, in our vyavahar, and to experience, to go through life happily, lovingly, productively. These are very nice qualities, and these are not that very, very difficult to cultivate. It is how much one is convinced by these, that much one will be able to put in the effort and to apply. So what does Bhagavan say here? Nirmana moha. So what is the meaning of mana? General meaning people we take out is mana is pride, ego, abhiman. So mana is literally, if we say ma, the word ma, in Sanskrit the root ma means to measure, miyate. When we measure something, so if we say, okay, this is 2 liters of milk, that is 500 grams of whatever, wheat flour, these are 2 dozens of apple. So we are measuring. So measurement is done of something which is finite. In that way, when we measure this personality, so we say that this, from the top of the head to the tip of the toe, this is my height. Now we are measuring the height. We say 60, 70, 80 kilos is the weight. So this is space, measurement of space. Then if you say 30 years is my age, then there is measurement of time. Then if we say, the height, as I said, that is the space. Then the weight, when we say, then that is about the object. This is 4 kilos, that is 6 kilos, that is 8 kilos. We are measuring. Or we say properties. Then again we are measuring. Oh, this is darker than this is better than that. Now those are properties, and we are comparing and contrasting and measuring. Now in the world, the measurement has to happen, because we are dealing with things, we are dealing with, in the relative reality, there has to be, measurement has to happen. Without that, things will go haywire. But when we say this mana, what does it mean? To think that this which is limited, so what is having a measurement will obviously be limited, and what is immeasurable is the unlimited. We have forgotten that which is unlimited, which is our nature, and this which is limited, in that we have the sense of I, that is called mana. To think I am this body, Is the body's height is, let us say, 5 foot 10 inches. Body's weight is some 80 kilos. Body is some 35 year or 50 years old. I am not that. But if I think I am that, that is called mana. And this is called false identification. This is not like I am greater than somebody. That is superiority complex. Based on this mana, based on this measurement of mind, based on this identification, ki I am this, then I feel I am greater than this person, I am lesser than that person. This greater and lesser is superiority and inferiority complex. Vedanta here is saying that this measurement itself is not of you, it is of this equipment. Suppose I say that my phone, suppose I have a phone which is, let us say, whatever, 13 inches. If I say I am that, how stupid is that? That is not me, that is the size of the phone. I am different from it, I may be using it very often, that's an equipment. Same way, this body is an equipment. Now I am measuring that and thinking I am this. That which is infinite, unlimited bliss, now it is identifying itself with one little body and saying this is me. That false identification is called mana. And based on that identification only all the other ego and pride and I am so rich, I am so healthy, I am so powerful, I am noble, I am ignoble, all these, they come because of that. So Vedanta is saying what? Be humble, don't have this mana. Nirmana it is saying here. So when one understands this, that whatever is limited, in that when I say I am this, now that becomes mana. That only leads to moha. This false identification mana is what leads to delusion. Because now I think I am limited, so now I want to become unlimited because that is my nature. So I want to expand. So I want to, in whichever way, expand the family, expand the business, expand money, expand in name, fame, growth, whatever we call it. In all that one is lost. Thinking happiness comes from them. That is called moha. So when he says here, nirmana moha, that which is parichinna, that which is limited, in that when I say this is I, that is called mana. And based on that I, this is mine. This house, this money, that person, this car. See, functionally, yes, we may own. No, we don't start saying, no, nothing belongs to me now. Functionally, one says, okay, this is the house, this is the car, this is it. But psychologically, how much we depend on that? Today, people feel so, insecure. Oh, the neighbor is having 3 vehicles. I don't even have one. Why are you bothered? Based on your status, your work, your earning, you live your way you want to live. Be free in your thought process. But no, one compares. One lady, she was cursing her husband. They had just returned, from one nice trip where they went to Switzerland. They had 5 days, 4 nights, brilliant stay, wonderful vacation. They enjoyed and they came back. And this lady was so upset. So this man, he's saying, hey, we had such a nice time, we enjoyed, Are you not happy? What happened? Why are you so irritated? What happened to you? So that lady is saying, what is the use? You don't care for me at all. What happened? We just went. I took you there. We enjoyed. We came back. What? Says you don't care. You are useless. Look at that neighbor. He took his wife on his own money. And you and I, we went because you won in some contest and this was free for you. So you didn't spend anything. Now this lady is in this kind of a thought process because she's simply comparing. They went happily. Whether it is, even when he won a contest, it is by his hard work. Na? So what if he didn't spend his own money for it? How does it matter? But no, they did like that. Who did like that? Why are we not doing? My God. That is called moha. So when Bhagavan says here, nirmana moha, why do we think that this body is me and these things are mine and psychologically get affected so much by that? How many people are there? They don't repeat one dress. It's so, they have their own compulsions, whatever they have. There are people who are, and they think that their life is very complicated, their life is so difficult. Why? Because now what do I wear? I own all this now, I don't know what to wear. What? Wear something and go, that's all. Essentials have to become essentials and non-essentials should remain non-essential. Our life exactly ulta has happened. Essential is so ignored, forgotten. Non-essentials we think are so essential. How does it matter if how many people remember you, you have worn this? No, media remembers. Let them remember. But no, one will have that. And the same people then will go and talk about climate change. Every single dress that was produced and used, you are being a cause for global warming. If you are taking new dresses, each dress once only one wears, then what happens? So that one has to understand that these are things okay in the world, they are there, but why should they define me? One feels higher and lower based on that. So Bhagavan says here, nirmana moha. When man is there, why man is there? Akhandanand says very nicely, man purnata ka virodhi hai. And he says that moha jnana ka virodhi hai. We should remember these two lines. Man purnata ka virodhi hai. Meaning what? Purnata is my nature, Akhandata is my nature, infinity is my nature. Now I am identified with one little thing and I am saying I am this. And now based on I am this, these are all mine. Psychologically I am saying. Functionally it has no problem. But psychological. Now if that person thinks this is me and that is mine and now I get affected by that, then that is bandhan. Purnata one has forgotten, so one is measuring oneself with the limited, and Gnan one has dropped, one is ignorant. So that delusion has come. The more I am in that moha, the more away I am from Gyan. That's why he says moha Gyan ka virodhi hai. Ramayana, if you see, that is what Bhagavan Ram and Sita ji are depicting. Bhagavan is telling her that this is not a golden deer, this is a Rakshas who has come in this form, but she is obsessed with that. That is called delusion. I want, so many times Bhagavan said, no, I don't seek. But she says, no, it's very unique, I want it. So then Bhagavan tells her, okay, fine, but Lakshmanji will be there to protect you. And he goes. Bhagavan is symbol of Jnana there. Sita ji is symbol of our mind which has come under delusion, moha. Lakshman ji is symbol of Vairagya. The Jnana and Vairagya, they both are very important. Now Gyan, she is separated from Gyan. The moment one has forgotten that I am with Ram, his nature is Purnata, I am one with that. Symbolically, that is what it means. One is separated. One forgot one's own true nature. Then one started identifying with oneself. Then this deer I want, without that I will not be happy. That is moha. The world appears like that. The world of Maya is a bewitching world, glamorous, glitterous, is shining, tempting. One falls for it. Sadhus, Mahatmas, everybody says, Arey, there is no happiness there. But one runs. Lakshmanji, who was there to protect her, she accuses him also when that Marich says, Hey Lakshman, hey Sita, save me. Then Lakshmanji also is sent away by Sita ji. So whatever even little bit of Jnana, Vairagya is there, or even that good karmas we have done in the past, so some punya is there. When the mind is very obsessed with the desire, then all this leaves. Another example. There is this very nice movie on Adi Shankaracharya ji. Long back it was made by G.V. Iyer. Even now it is a Sanskrit movie. So in that, Shankaracharya ji, there you will see that there is a very nice symbolic depiction of Jnana and Mrityu. They both are with Shankaracharya ji at all times. Now one episode happens there, which is a very famous episode in Varanasi. Shankaracharya ji is taking bath and he comes out and he is passing through the streets of Kashi, very narrow streets, and one Chandala comes from the opposite side. The Chandala is supposed to be the lowest, worst of all human beings, who eats the dog, meaning who eats even the dog who is the most faithful animal, that also that Chandala eats. One's own dog. And so they are considered below. In the Varna Vyavastha they don't come. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, etc. In that they don't come. They are outcast, outside. Now this Chandala is coming from the opposite side. So Shankaracharya says, Gacha, Gacha. With a little disdain, he says, you are Chandala, Gacha, Gacha, go, go. You should see in that movie what they have depicted. The moment he says, go, go, Jnana from this side has gone that side. Why? Because he didn't act out of knowledge, he acted out of delusion, moha. Because he saw the body and got identified. So he says, Gacha, Gacha, move, move. So the Chandala replies, what should move from what? Annamaya, Dannamaya, Mathava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyad. Should the body, which is made up of 5 elements, and this whole world is 5 elements, so how can these 5 elements move? The whole thing is made up of 5 elements only, so where will it move? And consciousness is one only, it is immovable. So what should move from where? The moment he says that, the Chandala says, Shankaracharya falls at his feet and he says, Chandalostu Satu Dvijostu Guru Rityesha Manisha Mama. Whoever has this firm conviction that I am that infinite consciousness, that person may be a Chandala or maybe a Dvija, a Brahmana. Doesn't matter. That person is my Guru. So he prostrates. Now the point there is to understand this, that delusion, when it comes, it eclipses knowledge. Arjun got deluded. His knowledge was there that I am a Kshatriya, I have to fight the war, I have to protect righteousness. These are the Kauravas, all the methods of peace have been exhausted. Now the war is the only solution. He knows everything. Now when he comes on the battlefield, suddenly what happens? Deluded. Why? My grandfather, my teacher, my family, my relatives. Now that has overwhelmed him. So that is called moha. We know many times what is right thing to be done, what has to be spoken, what should not be done, we know. But some attachment in us overwhelms our knowledge. That's why Akhandanand ji says कि मोह ज्ञान का विरोधी है. And as long as I continue to act in delusion, I will not attain knowledge. I will create more suffering and bondage. That's why the first quality is nirmana moha. Be free from false identification and delusion. Here is not even talking about what generally people think as man, as abhiman, That obviously one should drop. Even as the abhiman ki I am so rich, I am so powerful, I am a brahmana, I am very talented, I am like this, I am like that, I am knowledgeable, I know so many scriptures, whatever may be, all different types of man. I am so handsome, I am so beautiful. Body identification, mind, power, position, all this with which I identify, then that is to anyway mana one has to drop. But even the notion that I am this body, that also has to go. One way this will go is seva. This mana will go when one does seva, and that's why Guru seva is important, or any other seva, elders, when they are there at home, one bows down to their feet and one does seva, one does work, one does the duties also as offering seva. So if one has that clarity, then mana can be reduced. Moha will go the more and more I start focusing on clarity, knowledge, and I learn to drop my attachment. So when he says nirmana moha, free from delusion and moha, free from false identification and delusion. Seva is one method. And genuine seva, when one does, saying that I am doing this only for Bhagwan as my gratitude, expression of gratitude. If that is the bhavana with which one is doing the seva, then it will humble the person. Otherwise one will be acting out of ego. Then instead of humbling the person, instead of becoming nirmana, one will increase mana. So instead of becoming a means to reduce the ego, that same seva will become a means to boost the ego. Sometimes it happens also. There may not be enough people to work, one may be little irritated, there may be big programs to be taken up, many things like that happen. But then that's where one has to introspect and think, what is important? I am here to serve. Whatever will happen, happens by Bhagwan's kripa. I am only an instrument, I am not the karta. With Bhagwan's will, let it happen. In fact, if suppose one says, okay, volunteers are less, work is more, what to do? How will a seeker respond? The seeker can think, okay, if I can try to inspire more people and increase my net, where people are able to come and serve and we are able to have many of the team expands and then we are able to make a difference, very good. But suppose we don't get enough people, then what to do? One should think in terms of gratitude and say, Bhagwan has given me the opportunity. If 3 people are supposed to do this work and I am doing it alone, that much more faster is my Chitta Shuddhi, and Bhagwan thinks I am a fit instrument, so I am doing it. With that attitude, one can just keep doing. Bhagwan only will bring the right people. And when the right people come, start delegating, or whoever is available, start help training them also, empower them. Sometimes they will make a mistake, so what? But if you say, no, they will make a mistake, I will not be able to delegate, then the team will not grow and then one will keep on being stressed out. So it depends on how one faces that situation, with what attitude one says, I am doing seva, this is my opportunity to serve, I am serving. I will try to expand the team also, I will try to involve more people, they have an opportunity to serve, together we can serve. Then that is great. Otherwise some people are very insecure, they don't want anybody else to come purposely. That is their mana. because they want recognition, saying, I did it all alone, nobody was there to help, in spite of that I did it. Then that is not nirmana. See, if that has happened, somehow you tried the best, nobody was there and you still did it, and one is light in mind, there is no ego about it. One may not even say it, one may not even express it, because one is doing it quietly. My grandfather, Gurudev always used to call him the silent sevak. There are letters that he has written to Gurudev. Grandfather has written to Gurudev and Gurudev has replied also. So in that he writes, many places he has written, silent sevaks like you are the backbone of the Chinmay mission, like that he has written so nicely. Because he will go, he will do his seva quietly, happily, he will serve. He will meet people, he can involve them. If sometimes people are not there also, he used to organize yajnas, teach Gita chanting, many things he has done, right from the time mission was founded. So, the attitude is you silently serve. Where you have to communicate, express, if there is some difficulty, talk to the concerned people, let us sort it out, all that is fine, not a problem. But what is the bhav inside? Is the seva helping me to become nirmana, become light? Sometimes what people do is, when they take up a position, they will take up a role, they will work hard, then they will say after 1 year, I don't want this position anymore, I don't want to do. Why? Because one got frustrated. Why? It must have created some imbalance in their life, maybe, because sometimes work is more, people are less, or people are not proactive. This is samsara. We have to remember, samsara is like this only. We can keep trying to inspire people. If they get inspired and they become proactive, good for them. If they don't become proactive, theek hai, whenever they will become. Why should we stop our seva? Why should we reduce our seva? It is our opportunity to serve Bhagavan, that's all. Their actions are frustrating me so that I drop my opportunity to do my seva. Think about it. Is that intelligent? It will not. Then I am only becoming. I am at the disadvantage. One has to think carefully. Nirmana literally means what? Is my mana should go down. Seva is a most brilliant opportunity to reduce mana. Look at such great work that Mahatmas have done. No ego at all about it. If people are there, very happy, they will take their support. If people are not there also, they are happily doing their work. This applies to me also. I have to also apply this in my mind, in my life, because sometimes even it happens to me. That's why I am sharing. One gets sometimes irritated, work is more, people are less, all that. But momentarily that mind can do all that, and you observe and put it down, saying, what are you thinking? Correct this thought process. Be grateful to Bhagavan. Opportunity is given. Serve. Do what best you can. Bhagavan only the Karta finally. Who are we? Zero. Nothing we are. If that attitude is there, then quietly, happily, joyously one will serve. When one gets tired, one will sleep. Again get up, again serve. Bas. Nothing more. Simple. Nirmana. And then what will happen? Mind becomes pure. That is the beauty of this. Knowledge, you will see the difference. Before, let us say 10 years, suppose one was listening to Vedant 10 years ago, just as a listener. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. As a listener, one was listening. Then one got involved in the seva. Whether it's in the Chinmay mission or anywhere else, or even at home one is doing whatever one is doing with seva bhav, and really connecting to Bhagwan and doing it with such humility. 10 years, suppose you say, observe, has the quality of listening improved? The joy of sadhana, has it improved? The mind has it become quieter? Does one listen to Vedant and one experiences the transformation right while one is listening? One feels the joy when one is listening. When one listens to the katha or the glories of Bhagavan, one feels so much of bhav. That means my seva is landing me in purity of mind. I have to observe that. See, overall, one has to see this. Ups and downs keep happening in sadhana. Sometimes one gets irritated, frustrated also, sometimes one gets elated also, whatever, all that will keep happening. But observe over a period of time, how have I transformed? How am I facing life? Earlier, if I used to get more disturbed, today I'm able to handle it with much more balance. Even if I get disturbed just for a short while, I bounce back faster. The jignasa to know the truth, has it improved? Am I more detached, more quieter, more accepting of life? Prasada buddhi, Ishwararpana bhav, all that has increased. That is what seva will do. That is called being nirmana. The lesser I have man, the greater I will experience peace, happiness, quietude. So that's why Bhagavan is saying here, nirmana moha. Be free from mana, be free from moha. And mana is such a thing. You know, one person he went, Akhandanandji gives a nice example. One person he went to Udiya Babaji. Akhandanandji reveres Udiya Babaji quite a lot as his guru also. So one Panditji he went to Udiya Babaji and he said, Babaji, आपसे सत्य का ज्ञान प्राप्त करना है, आप उपदेश दीजिए. तो उड़िया बाबा ही सेड, हम क्या ज्ञान दें आपको, आप तो शास्त्र पढ़े हुए हैं, आप वेद पढ़े हुए हैं, आप ही थोड़ा ज्ञान दे दीजिए. And that Pandit ji started talking. 1.5 hours he was talking. And finally he did namaskar and he went. What was the point of this anecdote? That he came actually to give gyan, to get gyan, and Udiya Baba was testing whether he has that receptivity, he has the open-mindedness or not. Does he have that humility? He just said कि आप पढ़े हुए हैं, आप ही जरा ज्ञान दे दो. The Pandit could have said कि महाराज मैंने तो केवल पुस्तक पढ़ा है, आपका अनुभव है, आपकी कृपा हो तो ज्ञान प्राप्त करा दीजिए. Something like that he should have told, but he gave gyan to Babaji only and he went. So Babaji was listening, smiling. Mana is like that. Mana is that which prevents us from gaining gyan. Man and gyan don't go together. Tulsidas ji says very nicely, you know, that Jnana man jahan ekahu nahi. Jnana and man don't stay in one place. They can't stay in one place. Where there is Jnana, man will be very less. And where there is less man, there only Jnana will come. If man is more, Jnana will be very less. Which is why sometimes people say, na, empty vessels make a lot of noise. Because man is very much, then dham, dhum, so much of, one is not grounded. One who is filled, Jnana is there, then they don't make noise. So in the world, there is lots of noise that one wants to make. Okay, make. Atma Jnana is something else. It is to turn within. Quiet. So, Nirmana Moha. Free from Mana and Moha. Mana one can be free from, the more one inculcates Seva Bhavana. And literally do seva. Whether it is family, country, culture, community, whatever cause, or say everything is dedicated to Bhagavan. So Nirmana moha. Then he says jita sanga dosha. So this mana goes by seva. Moha, how it will go? Delusion. Delusion will go with clarity. Where I am doing pratipaksha bhavana will remove the delusion. That is, pratipaksha bhavana will bring that clarity. So when I am deluded about, let us say, body, oh, I am so handsome, I have six-pack ab, I am so slender, my fat percentage is so less, look at those people, are bhai sahab. Now how will that delusion go? Do the pratipaksha bhavana ki what is finally this made up of? If I have moha, to destroy moha, I have to do the opposite thinking. Pratipaksha bhavana means that when I am falsely inflating some things, exaggerated value I have given to some things, I have to deflate that. Then it will come to normalcy. Otherwise, moha is making me see something opposite. What is not, I am seeing, and what is there, I am not seeing. That is called moha, delusion. To not see the sand in the desert, but to think that there is water there and then run towards it, that is called delusion, moha. So to not see the Atma and to think I am this body and then to think happiness is in outside things, that is called delusion. That has to be reversed. So Bhajagovindam will say, what is this book? What is this body? Etan mamsa vasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. Again and again, oh fool, think. What? This is mamsa vikara. This is a modification of flesh. Flesh, blood, bone, marrow is all that. If individually this is brought and given to you, you will not even like to look at it. Collectively it is put together and one system Bhagavan has created by you, this is working. Because of his presence in this. The moment that is gone, this will be finished. Bharya bibhyati tasmin kaya. Your own spouse will abhor that very body. So what delusion are you having about the body? You are not this body. That, if I am deluded about wealth, so Bhajagovindam says what? Artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukhalesha satyam. Think again and again, this wealth is calamitous. There is not a trace of happiness in that. It can buy comforts, conveniences, and it has its own functional utility. No doubt about that. But it can't define me. Because I have wealth, I am greater. Because I don't have wealth, I am lesser. Is a wrong equation. It is only a functional convenience to buy some things. But how much one does all this effort only to fit into some society, into some class, some elite class, some upper middle class, this, that. Forgetting what is real, what is true, how much one runs behind money and fights with one's own people for money. Guruji Swami Tejomayanji always says that, the love of wealth has made the wealth of love disappear from our life. Love of wealth, how much love of wealth it is. And what is that wealth going to do? Will it come with you? No. No, in the next Janma I will be born as a rich person. That's okay, if that is what you value. And nothing wrong by itself with being rich, no problem. But the way, so if I have exaggerated value for wealth and I think that defines me, then that is moha, that has to be removed. Otherwise Janak Maharaj was very wealthy, but he did not have any moha about wealth. So many great kings, if you see Ashwapati Raja, Janak Maharaj, Rishabh Dev Ji, Bharat Raja, so many great kings, Prithu Raja, they ruled brilliantly and at one point they renounced and they went. Gave up everything because they know that this is not going to lead me to Supreme. So now that delusion which one has about wealth, about people, about body, about fame, so many things one has wrong notions about. By study of scriptures and doing this Pratipaksha Bhavana, I can reverse that wrong thought process. I may still use Money is required, body is required, people are required, relationship, family, all that is there. But that doesn't define me. And again, when we say I will use, it doesn't mean I will use and throw, I am not sensitive, compassionate, kind. No, 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 not like that. Meaning, in the functional world, I will relate well. It is not to run away from all this. Spirituality never teaches running away. It says how to maintain the right contact with all this. You know, in that book, Kindle Life, the second chapter that Gurudev has written is titled only this, Art of Right Contact. And he gives one nice example in that. He says electricity. You should know how to use electricity. If you don't know, then you put your finger inside it, then you will get shock. What is the art of right contact? So how do I contact money, position, power, people, body? I should know how to be in contact with this and maintain that right attitude, distance, balance, everything. Bas. So nirmana, mana will go by seva, moha will go by pratipaksha bhavana. Then the second quality Bhagavan says is jita sangha dosha. What is sangha dosha? The company that we keep, the dosha of that. Acha, what is the meaning of dosha of that? This applies in every field. Even Warren Buffett, if you read, he will tell you that you keep the company of right people, you will grow. Sang ka rang. Sang, rang, dhang, they are very closely connected. Jaisa sang, vaisa rang, vaisa dhang. We get colored by the thoughts, actions, behavior of people whose company we keep. And of course, we are also influencing them. It is going on mutually. Who gets how much influence is dependent on each one, but influence is there. And mind is very weak. Any time this mind can fall very easily. Until it has certain nishtha and certain abidance in spiritual sadhana, dharma, etc., one should be very careful of what company one keeps. Just a few minutes of dussanga with that mantra that Kaikeyi had, and she fell. Kaikeyi's father is Ashwapati Raja. It's interesting, no? He is a great Bhakta of Bhagavan. So the point is, the company that we keep, and it may start with very innocent looking suggestion only. Every big addict, drunkard, drug addict would have started with one little suggestion, थोड़ा try कर ले, कुछ नहीं होगा, अभी नहीं तो कभी नहीं, you are young, you should try. People may think this is very orthodox standpoint and this is very normal today, everybody is doing. That is your call. I am just saying, and I am not saying that anybody who is trying, everybody will end up in being a drug addict or a drunkard. No, but it has started like that. Some company, and then one has started. You know, there was one person, one sadhak he was actually. So this sadhak, he was not economically very well to do. So he used to work hard, go do his work through the day, earn his salary, etc., maintain his family, and he used to live a simple life and, you know, anchored in his sadhana he used to do. And now he was, over a period of time, he started becoming more successful, so more money started coming. And he was very happy. So he joined one club. So evenings he used to go sometimes there. Earlier he would be eating only home food and do his sadhana and spend some time, and yes, he had his friend circle, no doubt he would meet them and all that. But he could not go to, you know, some elite club and all that, he was not a part of. Now he became successful, so money started coming, so now he became a member. Now there when he goes, initially he was just sitting and he was observing, and then people would be there and he would meet some people, make friends. Some of one or two of his friends also he met them there, and they would discuss, and he would drink some juice and all that, and he will come back. Slowly they tried to tell him, try. So he started drinking. Initially he was drinking just very little, and then he would say no, he's a sadhak and he doesn't want, he knows the difficulties. But after some time he got habituated. Earlier he would be so careful about his food, now he was sitting there and he was eating also any non-vegetarian food also there. Then he got into drugs also, and he was falling. Now see Bhagwan's Kripa in some way, how it happened that he had some big loss in the work that he was doing, that business he was doing, and he lost money. Now when he lost money, he couldn't pay to continue there in that club, etc. And it is then that he felt, what I was, from where to where I have fallen now. And in one way it is thanks to Bhagwan that this happened. Now I will do Prayaschitta and I will come back to my track. It was just a little one suggestion, and slowly the whole downfall happens. Sangha is very, very important. I may not have many people with me, but even if I have few, they should be the people who motivate me, encourage me to walk the path of dharma, to manifest my potential, to get out of my negativities. If I have people who pull me down, who take me away from dharma, we don't need such people. Better to be alone than have people who pull us down. And many times people ask also, Swamiji, then like that, so then we will not have any friend circle left with us. That is our insecurity. Even if you talk scientifically today, you will understand, do some research, you will find what type of thoughts I have, that type of people I will attract. My mind is one magnet. I have to know that. If my thought processes are spiritual, sadhana oriented, strong, I will attract those people in my life, and they will come, and I will have good relationships, I will have a good circle also. If I am choosing consciously that this is what I want of my life, I will find it. If I am very ढीला ढाला about it, okay, this also चलता है, ये भी चलता है, वो भी चलता है, ठीक है, it's all right, सब कुछ चलता है, then तो ठीक है. All types of people will be there then. One has to choose. And again, I'm not saying to condemn, criticize anybody else. I'm just saying we have to be careful about the company we keep. It may be the closest of our people. Certain types of conversation, certain types of action, one has to be alert, because it is finally my life. See, this Jita Sangha Dosha can be done. Jita means to win. Jita Sangha Dosha will happen when I am very clear that this is my journey. I only have to pay the price for everything that I do. Others may be there with me, they will be, then together we will collectively pay the price, but experience is to be will be mine. I have to deal with the consequence. Then why will I keep wrong company? Why will I do wrong actions? Why will I fall? For what joy? And when time itself is so less, the goal is so high, I have to realize truth. There is no time to fall again and again. I have to keep walking. Is there somebody who is a fool who will say that, okay, from Mumbai to Pune I have to go, whichever road, wherever it takes, I will just go. Even if it is taking me opposite side, I will just go. Arey, you don't need a time, you don't have a time limit where you need to reach Pune by this time. Then you will follow one track, no? Not something that keeps taking you back and regress. So, when it is said Jita Sangha Dosha, keep the good company. And Satsang is very important. In fact, everywhere if you see, the first step in spiritual growth will be Satsang. In Navada Bhakti also Ramji tells Shabari Mata, Prathama Bhagati Santanakara Sangha. First step of bhakti is, Navada Bhakti, first step is do have company of saints and sages. And this applies in every field. Suppose I want to be an expert in stock market, then I keep company of people who are expert in stock market and who are alert, who have been experienced, and then I will learn from them. If I want to be a great cricketer or a musician, I need to keep company of such people. Where to find them, Swamiji? You will find. There are avenues to find. If you, depends on where, what you want to develop, no? And always keep company of such people who will challenge you. At least one or two people should be there in your life who are above where your level is. Why? Because then they will also challenge you, you will also be able to rise. If there are people who are at same level as yours, sometimes growth will stop. And if people are only around you who are lesser than you in certain, lesser in the sense in terms of functional, qualification or money or status or power, position, whatever it is. Again then they becomes a challenge. Because sometimes one feels you can learn from anybody, no doubt in that, but sometimes that thought process is not stimulating enough. And so one needs to have the right company. Especially some people should be there who will push me out of my comfort zone and who can help me to manifest more and more potential. If I don't have any such people, I have to find. So Jita Sangha Dosha goes by these two. Jita Sangha Dosha goes means Sangha Dosha goes by these two. Sangha Dosha is that dosha of the Sangha. If you go deep into spiritual thought process, it is also that good company also sometimes will create attachment. Negative company obviously we keep away from, but good company also. Why? Because one will increase raga. One can get attached, not always will, but one can get attached to that person. So this again doesn't mean कि okay, I live in a shell, I have nobody, no friends with me, nobody, no good people, no bad people, nobody. No. It only means get out of the dosha. It is not saying get out of sangha. It is saying sangha dosha. The dosha of sangha is what? If people are negative, I will develop dvesha. If people are positive and sattvic, etc., then I may develop raga also. I should be free from this raga and dvesha because both these take me away from the truth. And the way to do that is, one, anchor in yourself and know that this is only your journey. Like how Gurudev used to say, from alone to alone, all alone. From the state of alone, small a, where I am in my ego, to the state of alone, capital A, which is infinite consciousness. I have to walk all alone. It is my path. Nobody can walk my path. I can't walk their path. They can help me, I can help them, but each has to walk their own path. So if I know that this is my path, like if forget spirituality, even in simple food and body, it happens or not. People can only help us if we are sick. People can only, help us to become more fit. But it is my journey. What I eat, how I sleep, how I exercise, what I do with my body, it is fully my journey. Nobody can do anything. They can only support. Beyond that, it is me. I have to deal with every single consequence of what is happening in the body. Same way applies in spiritual path. So, nirmana moha jita sangha dosha. One has to identify who are the people in my life who help me to go beyond my comfort zone, who push me, who challenge me, who make me think, get me out of my attachments. Who are the people on whom I am attached, on whom I have dependency? Who are the people whom I hate, I don't like? And who are the people who are having a wrong influence on me? Sometimes it may not be their fault, it may be my attachment, but I have to be careful to introspect. So Jita Sangha dosha will happen through this. Get out of wrong company for sure. and think it is my journey, I have to walk the path. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya. Both these can happen when I get anchored in spiritual sadhana, and literally adhyatma means self, atma. Nitya means always remember I am Brahman, I am not this jiva, I am not the body. That's the deepest meaning of adhyatma nitya. Every single day, get up in the morning, get ready, do certain time of certain contemplation for some time. And what is that contemplation? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am infinite consciousness playing this role. This is not my true nature. This is one role I am playing to the best of my ability, but I am not this. Like the actor knows he is not the role. Adhyatma Nitya literally means that all our spiritual sadhanas will finally come to this alertness of Adhyatma Nitya. That am I alert to realize I am Brahman. Everything else is a means to realize that. So whatever shlokas, Upanishad mantras or even statements in any other language help me to assert this fact that I am consciousness, and my understanding of consciousness should be clear, that it is infinite truth, it is the source of the whole creation, it is the substratum of the whole creation, it is birthless, changeless, deathless. A, B, C, D. Consciousness is defined as ABCD. You are ABCD. What? Alone, meaning there is only one consciousness. B, birthless. C, changeless. D, deathless. This ABCD of life I have to ground myself in. Every day, what are you doing? ABCD. Remember, who are you? ABCD. Fundamental purpose of life is only this. What is your goal of life? To realize ABCD. That only. To wake up to this truth, ABCD is my true goal. Adhyatma Nitya literally means that. As much as one can anchor in that thought process, one should anchor. Through the day also. In my computer, in my phone, so one reminder is there. Every 1 hour the reminder will keep saying Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. So you in between work also you will remember for a second and you will remember, yes, I am Brahman, I am not this role. Adhyatma Nitya means that. So if I am working 17 hours a day, 17 times minimum I already reminded myself, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. It is not happening only once in the morning. No, through the day keep remembering, I am Brahman playing this role. I am not this jiva. I am not this body. Adhyatma Nitya. So this is Vedantic understanding. Suppose we say, okay, that is not so easy to do. Then Adhyatma Nitya literally means anchor in spiritual sadhana. It may be mantra japa. One sadhana you have to be firm in. It may be mantra japa, it can be nididhyasan, contemplation, it can be any, stotram chanting, Gita chanting, bhajans, puja, but daily, regularly one does. And one has got anchored in that. Not just the ritual. That ritual is connecting me to Bhagwan. And that bhavana that I am connected to Bhagwan, that has to be there as much as I can carry through the day. Adhyatma Nitya. Then he says here, Vinivritta Kama. This Kama has to be dropped. Selfish desire has to be dropped. Finally, in the state of contemplation, all Kama has to be dropped, no doubt. But when one is living in the world, as much I can drop selfish desires, I can drop better. No, then how will we take care of the family? How will we earn money? How will we make profit? What will happen? That one can still do. That is a part of the duty, that is a part of the role. Nothing wrong in it by itself. in a dharmic way one can do. One's happiness is not depending on that. Today my happiness depends on the selfish desire. If this is fulfilled, then only I will be happy, and there is so much of insistence on that one should drop. One will do the best and leave the rest. No dependency. If this happens, very good. If it doesn't happen, doesn't matter. Now this Hanuman Havan is coming up 1st February. We are trying. We say, okay, we want 20,000 people to come. Work hard for it. Do the best. If 20,000 people come, wonderful. If they don't come, Ram Ram. For us, it is not the number. For us, it is something which will push us out of comfort zone. The whole mission will serve. We will get together and try to inspire that many lives with the power of Hanumanji and Hanuman Chalisa, and offer a befitting tribute to Puja Gurudev in the 75th Amrit year. It's the 75th year of Chinmay movement next year, 2026. So 1st February in Bandra Kurla complex, we want to do 108 Havan Kunds and chant Hanuman Chalisa and do the Ahutis 21 times Hanuman Chalisa. Kunds may be more than 108 also, and come together in thousands and chant Hanuman Chalisa, do the Havan. It's a brilliant experience, spiritual experience of chanting, of meditation, of kirtan, of Havan. There's a nice exhibition on Hanumanji, on Gurudev. Amrit Yatra, there's a bus which will come which has nicely redesigned information about Gurudev. So all that one will do one's best. जो आए सो आए उसके बाद. One's happiness is not dependent on that. One is doing it out of gratitude कि one has opportunity to serve and one wants to give a befitting tribute to Gurudev and serve. And what one has benefited, try and reach to more and more people. How many people are bhaktas of Hanumanji? All of them come together, we can learn from them, their bhakti will rub off on us also. It's such a nice way to come together in a congregation and feel that power. Now that clarity one has, one will still do. So when we say Vinivritta Kama, in fact when a person frees oneself from this insistence on result and dependency psychologically on the result, then one is actually able to do more. Look at all the great masters, they are free from desires, but have they not served the society maximum? Shankaracharya didn't want anything for himself, but did that make him dull? Because he didn't want anything for himself, he served the country so gloriously that Sanatan Dharma he revived single-handedly, he did so much. Vivekananda didn't want anything for himself. Gurudev didn't want anything for himself. Mirabai didn't want anything for herself. Vinivritta Kama. Why? Because they've experienced Purnata inside. And even the seekers, when we know that this is the goal, our nature is Purnata already, we have to realize that what is blocking the distance between man and God is only desire. That's why that golden deer is a symbol. Ramji and Sitaji were happily living in the forest for 13 years. Till Sitaji's attention was on Ramji, there was no problem to her. The moment her attention shifted from Ramji to that deer, gone. Full Ramayana started. Ravan comes, kidnaps her. Full downfall happens of the seeker when the seeker forgets the truth and then becomes extrovert. Then one understands that no, this is wrong notion. No matter what I do, anything outside, I will not get that fulfillment. One drops. Vinivritta Kama. Again I am saying, Vinivritta Kama means drop the psychological dependency on Kama for one's happiness. Because desire is a sense of incompleteness, and by fulfilling that I want to feel complete. Drop. I am already fulfilled. That's why this knowledge is required. My nature is happiness and bliss. I am already what I seek. I just don't know it. Because I am thinking I am this limited. I am not this limited. If I drop desire, I can realize I am unlimited. Vinivritta Kama. More about this we will take up in our next satsang. This is a very beautiful verse, so little more we reflect on it and so many practical things one can apply in one's life. All right. So we thank all our Yajmans, the Mukhya Yajmans for the whole series, Ajay Kasotia ji, Tarana Khubchandani ji, Kalpana Morparia ji, Parag Wagh, Ajay Merchant ji, Bharat Khanna ji, Deepika Bakshi ji and Vandana Jagwani ji. Our Gita Aarti Yajman for all sessions, Vinu Munshi ji, Dipti Gandhi ji, Jyotsna Nevatia ji, Rashmi Anand ji, Rajan Saxena ji, Vipul Dalal ji, Hemant Kumar Ruya ji, Nalini Kaya ji and Sudhir Merchant ji. Dainik Yajman for today are Pradeep Shroff ji, Mala Lentin ji, Shalini Dhawan ji and Srijata Basu ji. And the Aarti Yajmans for today are again Srijata Basu ji, Nima Thakore ji, Vipradas Vyas ji and Nutan Bhalla ji. So we invoke Bhagwan's grace, Gurudev's blessings on all the Yajmans, their families and everyone present here. May Bhagwan bless us with more and more humility, freedom from delusion. May we have the good company of sadhaks, bhaktas, inspiring people. May we be anchored in spiritual knowledge and sadhana, and may we drop our selfish desires and realize the self. Om Tat Sat, Jai Shri Krishna.
ॐ जय भगवद् गीते मैया जय भगवद् गीते हरिय कमल विहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद् गीते कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा विद्या ब्रह्म परा ॐ जय भगवद् गीते निश्चल भक्ति विधायिनि निर्मल मलहारिणि शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनि सब विधि
बोलिए श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Okay, so yes, Lajjaji, you can unmute and ask.
My pronouns to you, Swamiji.
Hari
Can you
Om.
hear me?
Yeah.
I have written a message on your chat. Please, it will take 1 minute. Can you reply whenever you are free?
Okay.
Thank you.
Hari Om. Yes, Lataji.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Is there any difference between the words Asanga and Nisanga? And similarly, Abhaya and Nirbhaya? And in Jita Sanga dosha, Sanga, does it mean attachment also? Like,
Okay, so Abhaya, Nirbhaya and Asanga and Nisanga, in my understanding, there is no difference. We have to think about it as same only. In my understanding, there is no difference. Only some different times different words are used. Abhaya and Nirbhaya, no difference. If at all one wants to create a difference, then one can create a difference, saying that one is fearlessness of the mind and other is fearlessness of the self. So because fearlessness of the mind, I can be fearless about certain things and I can still have fear about certain other things. So as a quality, it is fearlessness towards certain things, and it can come, go, it can change. But as the Atma, there is no fear in the Atma at all. So it is Nirbhaya, it is Abhaya, whatever we use it. Because the Upanishad says Abhaya Pratishtham Vindate, the person attains establishment in complete fearlessness. There is no absolutely no fear in the mind of that person who has realized Brahman. Because nature of Brahman is non-duality, immortality. What fear after that? So if at all we want to create a difference, one can create, but in general people, in general in the spiritual literature, it will be utilized as synonyms. So Abhaya, Nirbhaya and Asanga and Nisanga also. So when we say it can be both as a, so one level, one can say that at one level it is a sadhana to do detachment, so to cultivate detachment. So when we chant Asangoham, 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 Punah Punah, again and again I am telling myself, yeah, I am detached, I am detached, I am detached. So that way it is a sadhana that the mind is learning to drop false identification. At a deeper level, if one thinks Asangata is our nature only, as the Atma we are anyway not affected by anything, attached to anything. Asanga as well as Nisanga, whichever one uses. So if we want to create a difference, then we can, but otherwise many times it is utilized as synonyms, because then we should not get confused with, okay, Abhaya means only this, Nirbhaya means only this, and now here Abhaya is used, so what, how can this meaning apply there? Not required. And second question was about Jita Sanga dosha. So yes, one can think of Sangha as also an attachment, not a problem. If one wants to, because Sangha can mean that also, attachment, and Sangha is company also. So if one wants to think of it as free from attachment, one can. That meaning is not wrong. So company and then attachment, both it can mean. Free from the dosha or the limitation of attachment, as well as free from the dosha of company. Because when we say Jita Sanga dosha, in that we discussed also that raga and dvesha, one is getting out of both. Because if it is good company, I will get raga, I can get raga. And if it is bad company, I may get dvesha. So freedom from raga and dvesha. So one meaning of sangha anyway is included in when we say company, then raga itself is that attachment. But you can take it separately also. Attachment is also fine.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.